Kate Wright, and I'm the founder of Poi Passion Circus and Fire Arts. And this 30-minute workshop is designed to help you make your own poi at home and learn to spin with them. So first thing we're going to do this morning or this afternoon, depending on when you're watching this video, is make our own poi. The second thing we will do before we spin anything is a risk assessment, so we don't hit anything. So, making your own poi from home. This is such an exciting thing to learn and very, very simple. So I'm going to show you a few objects on my table. I have 2 lemons. Now again, if these hit you, they can be slightly hard, but they're a really good object to use. I have 1 Satsuma that you can pretend is two Satsumas. This is nice and soft, not quite so hard if it hits you. I have 2 dog balls, okay? So again, slightly harder but a heavier thing to use in your poi. And last but not least is my baggie here of rice and my pot of rice. So this is also a really good thing to use. The main part is a sock. Now some of you may have short socks. It's better to try and go on a long sock. If you want to go for colourful socks, maybe go for colourful socks. So let's make some poi. First of all, we're going to make one with some rice. I'm going to take one of my baggies. Oh, just to say, make sure you ask your parents or guardians first that you can use any of this equipment in the house. Second, I'm going to pour probably about a handful, so a good handful of rice into my bag, and then I'm going to scrunch it up and try and make it as circular as possible. It's going in. Tie it in a little knot. If not, you can use bunchies, and then I'm going to wrap this bag a little bit more round itself. This is quite a fat circle, and I'm going to put a bunch on it just to secure it so it doesn't go anywhere. I'm then going to take my long grey sock and I'm going to stretch it. It's a good way to warm up as well. I'm going to take my bag of rice and I'm going to put it all the way down into the sole of my sock. So what I'm going to do with the other one is I'm going to use a orange, is my choice today, Satsuma, all the way down. You can do it sliding down, sliding down, sliding down. So now what happens is I'm going to make a knot. So I'm going to do 2 versions of this knot, one from here and one very close up. So first I'm going to take my hand, here it is, it's up in the air, my thumb is interlinked through the sock. Wrap it round the back of my poi, feed it through, see here, and pull. Okay, so that's going to secure your Satsuma in. The same is going to happen at the top. Here, and then I'm going to make my knot. I will be coming into the camera in a second. And now I've made my first poi. So this loop is for the fingers to go in, and that means you can keep the poi on your fingers. So approaching the camera, I'm going to take my poi, here's my loop, wrap it round the back of my hand, so this is what it looks like. And then I'm going to wrap this poi round, bring the thread of the poi through the back, take my hand out, and voila, I have a knot. Let's try again at the top. Here, around the back of my hand, feeding this through, pulling it up, then putting in one last knot here, the same again, and I have my poi. Back to my table. So before you start spinning, we will do the risk assessment, but here is my set of homemade poi. Who would have known making poi could be so easy? Risk assessment. So when poiing, things do become a risk, because at the end of the day, you are swirling around socks with objects in them. So the main risk is you. I know, I said you. Let's just do that again. You're the user of the poi. So the first thing we have to be careful of is not to, hit ourselves. And especially if you're a man, this can be, excruciating pain at the best of times. So just really gently be aware not to spin at the speed of lightning, Just really slowly, using your breath. Gently. And this way, you're going to get less tangles and less hit. So just be really aware of yourself. The second thing to be really aware of is anybody around you. Anybody around you. So just not hitting anybody around you. Third thing, these are the worst. If you're inside, pretty much everything is an object that you can hit. So checking the lights, checking the windows, checking your mum's ornaments, checking that there's no cups or glasses around. Because obviously if this poi hits something, it's likely to send it flying up in the sky and it will smash. And just be really, really conscious of the space around you. Another thing to watch out for is toddlers, pets. Pets being dogs and cats. Dogs quite like to have a go on the poi. That's often quite fun to watch. Toddlers, yeah, they're at a really great height that they can get hit. So again, just being aware of toddlers and people. And cats, I'm sure cats would quite like to play with the poi as well. So just bringing your awareness into anything that could potentially be dangerous. If possible, practice outside. If that's not possible, make your poi shorter. And you can poi up with this size. The other thing that can happen with poi is, I can let go of them and now I don't have any. Where did those pois go, I wonder? Play safe, have fun, check your areas. Where do poi come from? Now there's a really good question. So it's really good to look up the history of poi, and YouTube's a really good place to start, or even Wikipedia. Poi, the name P-O-I, means ball on string. In this case, ball in sock. So this skill originates from New Zealand and has been around for centuries. Entertainment, brain gym exercising, and used for women to learn to coordinate. So again, just look up on Wikipedia poi and you'll see a lot more information than what I've just given you. Benefits of poi spinning. So there are so many benefits to poi spinning. Myself personally, I'm very, very severely dyslexic, and poi has definitely shown me another way. I also practice yoga and meditation, and by linking poi and yoga and meditation together, this creates an amazing flow art. So the benefits are brain gym exercising, muscle memory conditioning, concentration, flow, meditation, breath work, and all as above is just really good for getting you out of a negative mood or maybe a stressed place. You can use your poi, whatever emotions you're feeling, you can spin your poi. Sometimes the poi can be slightly frustrating in the early days, but this is going to teach you about patience. How do we become patient? Spin your poi, get frustrated, and we'll start to learn about patience. Different kinds of poi. So today I'm using some silky sock poi. You can get these online. Oddballs is a really good place to start. And these are same as what you've made really, socks with balls in it. Same, just because they go with my outfit. Yeah? These are called flag poi. Now these are very big, and I'm going to put these onto my fingers by laying my peace sign onto its back. So just come up to the camera and then put it onto its back and slide this on here. So the loop always sits below your poi. Okay. So these are beautiful. These are really nice for rhythmic poi dancing and making pretty colours. And Longtailed Flag poi, here they are. Really hard to learn on these ones, so I suggest you stick to your sock poi. And here's our flag. And the reason these are quite hard to learn on is because of all the strings and tells that are involved in it. So you can either spend a little bit of time on knotting, or you can spend a lot of time on knotting. Flag poi. Oh, and these ones are contact poi. So these are the more professional ones to learn on. This is the one the whole of the Poi Passion School learns on. These are way heavier, and you can use these for throwing. Just checking out the ceiling space there and the lights. Let's have another go. Throwing, and lots of cool tricks, dancing, raps. Ooh. Okay, so if these ones hit you, you really do know about it. They're not very friendly. So this is where we come into the more of the martial arts aspect of Poi. The other style of Poi, you notice I didn't throw those ones as well. The other style of Poi we use at Poi Passion is fire Poi and glow Poi, of which I don't have with me today. But you can book us for shows, so if you would like to see a fire or a glow show, please go through to my website www.poipassion.com and see what we have to offer. So let's get on with our Poi spinning workshop. So what you're going to sometimes find in Poi, most people will, is that you have one strong arm and one weaker arm. So my yellow is my right, and that is my stronger arm, and my left is what I would call my weaker arm. So when I'm teaching in a school, I'm asking the center, so everything from above all the way down to below, up through the center, to come together. So imagine bringing these hands into Namaste, and you would like these two to become friends and work equally. What's going to happen is my right is the natural performer. She's got all the moves, apart from that moment she hit my elbow. And she's got all the moves, and she's hitting the left out of the hand. And my left is kind of a bit more like, yeah, I've got this. So what you're asking these two to do is try and become friends and work equally. So for example, when I come up here to a higher move, what can happen with my weaker arm is it can go off and start doing some other stuff. So the focus here is the peripheral vision. So thinking about the vision around me for now. So you'll follow this yellow box. Okay, so just look at this box, and then just be aware of watching our hands all the time. So there's two ways at Poi Passion we learn, well there's many ways, but these are the main two. Physically connecting with the hands. So it's pointless looking up there. Yeah, my hands aren't doing anything I want them to do. You actually have to look at them. So hand-eye coordination. The second thing we can do is shut our eyes and feel the movement. I suggest you name your hands. So this one is Disco Dave, this one here, and this one's, I'm going to call her Zara Dancer. So Disco Dave and Zara Dancer. Okay, so have a go at getting to know your hands, because that bit's going to be a lot of fun, and beware not to get hit. So the beats that we're working with here is same time. So this, I like to call this the bassline. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So this is same time beat. Completely same time. Poi doing the same, hands doing the same. Section 1, the foundation of Poi spinning. So we're going to start with our Poi spinning in forwards. So anything in forwards is when the Poi is going down towards the ground. So forwards, check that your Poi are in forwards. I see a lot of people starting backwards, and we're looking at going forwards. Bring your awareness into how are you standing. Have you seized up down below, or have you still got some action in your legs? Okay. What I love about filming is I get to watch the cameraman bob along with me for the rest of the day and try not to laugh. So these are on your hips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just on your hips, and repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I've got active legs. I'm bouncing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and out to a scarecrow. So a long arm extension. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to show you this from side on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scarecrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gather, coming back to face on. 1, 2, we're going up to shoulders. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slightly higher to the shoulders, itch my face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down to the hips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Legs are active again. 6, 7, 8. Out to scarecrow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gather. 1, 2, 4s now. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hips. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Gather. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4. Twos. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so have a go at that. This is called conditioning, exercising. Don't put too much thought into it, just have a go and see how you get on. Excellent, so we've done our same time and now we're going to split time our poi. So let's have a look at this from an angle. So I'm splitting the timing of my poi. 1, 2, 1, 2, slightly faster beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So get used to that. What's going to happen here is you're going to have a weaker hand and a stronger hand. So the more dominant hand and the one that doesn't do quite as much. Oh, keep going. And there's my first throw for you all. So alternating 1, 2, 1, 2. And if you want to put a little wriggle in here, so I like to think about this as a marching beat. So get those marching legs on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's have a little march up. Whoop-a, and back again. Okay, that's enough marching, please. Let's go to a shimmy. So extend through the arms, alternating the poi, and then seeing if you can wriggle through the top of the body. There we go. And gather. And then slightly higher up to the shoulders. Keeping an eye on the hand. So we'll talk about the hand-eye coordination a little bit more. Keeping an eye on the hands. And then gather back down onto the hips. So we're going to do this lively, my poi, today. This is a great demonstration to how they can fly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And gather 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And up. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. And fours. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Twos. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 1, 1, 1. Sounds like 1, 1, 1, 1. Gather. And so alternating your poi. So don't forget to check the hands from the side. You're going to come out. 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, 4. Excellent. And gather your poi back in. Have a go on that. See how you get on. Forwards, cross through. So once you've done some warm-up brain gym exercising and coordination and getting the body to understand the poi, the next thing you're going to learn is how to cross your poi over each other. So what you're going to see here is my left going over the top of my right, so that means my right's going under, and then my left going under my right. So left over the top, left under, left over the top, left under, left over the top, left under. Facing onto the camera, left over the top, left under, left over the top, left under. So let's break that down. So if you were just doing this with one hand, so I'm going to use my weaker hand first actually. So I'm going to start on my hip and it's going to come round to the other side of my hip. Looking good. Now let's try my other hand. So this is my stronger hand. So it's coming either side of my body. Okay, both my hands. So what I'm going to do is cross my arms over to start with. Now this is a great one for getting hit in the side of the head. So if you are getting hit, it's generally by your weaker hand. Taking a little lunge, swinging my arms, and then get my poise going on my side. Check hand-eye coordination. Good, good. Spinning on the sides until it's not hitting you, and then you can uncross. Opposite. My yellow's going over the top, mine's going over the bottom. And get your poi going. Checking hand-eye coordination. Taking a breath in between each spin, or as much as you can. Probably in between will be too much. And uncross. So here will be where it becomes a slow mode. Excellent. So I hope you get to see that. Now what we're going to try and do is make it a continuous movement. So make sure you can do one full cross, and then you're going to spin on the side of your body for either 8, 16, 4 or 2. So whatever level you're at. 1, 2, come out. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, come out. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm going to break it to twos. 1, 2, 1, 2, cross. And then I'm going to start to continuate my cross as much as possible. So I'm getting a really good continuation going on there. Just take it round to the side. 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so have a go at your forwards cross through and we'll see how we get on. Let's learn about flowing. So we're going to start by alternating our poi on our hips that we know, and then we're going to start to bring our poi inwards. So I'm just going to come a bit closer to the camera, so back onto my hips, and then I'm transitioning my poi inwards. Now the hands don't need to be together at this point. The idea is that we start to learn to roll these pois out, gather them back in. Roll these pois out, gather them back in. Roll these pois out, gather them back in. So just a few turns on this. Bring it a bit closer. So we are starting to feed the hands closer together if that's comfortable. Now what you can see is my right is slightly faster than my left. And gather it back up. The next exercise we're going to do is flowing up through the centre and flowing it back down. Flowing it up through the centre and flowing it back down. Flowing it up through the centre and flowing it back down. And breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. And then seeing if we can pull this out to the sides, gather it back in, feed it up through the centre, bring it back down, open it out, feeding it in, feed it up through the centre, gather it back down and pull it out. One more. And then we're going to see if we can take this up and over. So very, very slowly start to pull the arms up, shoulders stay soft and start to carry down and open and all the way up, down and open bring this back onto your hips, out to your shimmy, gather back in, bring them back inwards, open them out all the way to the top, down through the center, rise up, gather down and open, extend, beautiful, back onto your hips, open it out, gather it back in. Let's have a really good practice at that. Now what you're getting from me is short clips, but some of this is years worth of work. So don't think, oh well, I didn't get it in 2.5 minutes. You won't. Carry on practicing. Same time. So let's get these poise spinning same time inwards butterfly. So we're coming back to our baseline. One, 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 one. And then I'm going to bring my poise inwards. So you can see with my fingers I'm coming towards the camera. The poise are now coming inwards. Using my breath to breathe in through my nose and out through my nose. Now we're going to start to pull the arms apart. So I'm pulling them apart, gathering them back in, pulling them apart, gathering them back in, pulling them apart, and gathering them back in. This may take a little bit of time to get used to. A good way to remember this is as if we were clapping our hands. Okay, so we're going to bounce these up through the center and down. Up through the center and down. Up through the center and down. Opening it out, all the way out, and it starts to come up and over. So this is a really good place where it can start to clash at the top. So again, you don't need to pull the arms, maybe you come down from about here. So just trying to get the poise to work with you. Again, we've still got one weaker arm that might misbehave. Down through the center and open. And down through the center. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back onto my hips. Back to inwards. Back onto my hips. And back to inwards. So, back onto my hips, out to a scarecrow, gather back in, bring the point inwards, open this out, all the way up, over, down and round. One more, onto my hips, open it out, gather it in, bring it inwards, open it up, all the way up to the top, down and out. Have a go at that, see how you get on. We've got a really fun move now, it's called the buzzsaw. So I'm going to show you the move first. It's an alternating movement that comes up the center of our body. How to break this down. So first of all, I'm going to use my weaker hand because it's going to be the one that wants to misbehave. I'm going to do it from an angle. I'm going to have the poi spinning on my hip, and then I want to bring the poi in front of me but coming up through my center. So what's happened is there's a transition of the hand coming in and out, in and out. Keep it in for 8, try and take it out for 8. Put it back in, out. So again, just watch my hand. It's on the outside of my hand, and now it's on the inside of my hand. Okay, so that was my weaker hand, so it might not be as easy for you. Now with my stronger hand, the same thing. So from the outside of my hand to the inside of my hand, to the outside of my hand, to the inside of my hand. Let's put these two together. So it's going to start on our hips, And then at the same time, I'm going to flick them up in front of my face. So one tip here is make your poise shorter. I'm going to make this one slightly shorter. So you can make your poise shorter, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to flick up inside my body. So up on the inside, you can see here, and then back onto the outside. So at an angle, inside. Same time at the moment, outside. So something really good to learn is to get quite a good speed on this. In, out, in, out. Here we go. Good things happening. So that's the practice. So the buzzsaw itself is an alternating movement. So now I've got split time happening here. So nice bit of split time. And then I'm going to start to alternate these poise up in front of me. And out. And in. So let's have a bit of fun with the buzzsaw. So take some time to practice. Like I said, these videos aren't like really long. So I'm going to start to roll my buzzsaw. That means my body's way more involved. Turn it to this angle. Have a go at buzzsaw. Great one for kids, good fun for adults as well, called the forwards, cross, slam, backwards wrap. So start with your poise on your hips. You're going to do 4 counts here. Imagine you've got music, or put some music on. Everybody dance now. So we're going to cross the hands, 1, 2, then the poi are going to go under the legs. So I'm going to show you this action from here. Forwards, cross. The poi are going to go under your legs. Now don't do it so they hit you up the back. Oh, we really don't need to do that. So we can look at forwards, cross, and they're going under, and that puts them into backwards when they come out. Then they're going to wrap around the back of the legs. So I'll do the wrap here. It's actually quite hard, the wrap. So wrap, and again, wrap, and that will put me back in forwards. So from this angle, forward, cross, full cross, slam, whoop, backwards, wrap, up. And if you want to add in sound effects, you can. So go forwards, cross, slam, ha, backwards, wrap, hop, forwards, cross, slam, ha, oh. Backwards, wrap, hop, into the camera. Forwards, cross, slam, hop, backwards, wrap, hop. Okay, so one more forwards, cross, slam, backwards, wrap. Have a go. Poying. These are Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Kate Wright and I have been Poi Passion Circus and Firearms.